What's up, everybody? It's Patriot's Public Opinion coming back to you. Sitting in my faithful pickup truck, my 1996 GMC Sierra. I call her the Swamp Donkey. That name comes from a joke between me and a unit I served with in the Army. Some kind of personal to me. Also, if you don't know much about me, um, I'm a farm kid, man. Country for real. And this truck I love. I got this truck, I think, $4 grand. Great working order, sat on a farm forever. Um, really didn't have, you know, any bad stuff about it, man. Low mileage, all that for its age. And this truck just reminds me of being home, riding in my granddad's truck when I was a little kid and all of that. Let me take a minute to introduce you. And look, if y'all think this truck is not special, then that's y'all problem, man. And I could definitely tell that y'all a bunch of yuppies, man, if you don't like this truck. But I'm gonna do some nice things to this truck, man. Paint job, fix her up. Might lower her to the ground. I don't know. I'm gonna do some cool stuff. But here she is, the Swamp Donkey. Love it.
I like this license plate while they're riding this tractor.
And for those of you motherfuckers that don't think I'm redneck, look at this. See all that? That is metal about to go to the scrapyard. Turn it in for change, because when you grow up in the country, every dollar counts. I'm trying to tell you, just because you have money doesn't mean that you should be too good to do your part to help the environment and make a couple more dollars, right? Anyway, so recently though, I was actually asked an interesting question and I wanted to, I guess, give an answer. So a lot of people don't know that I love music. And I actually grew up listening to all kinds of music, man. My dad was in the military, and even when he got out of the military and I lived with him full time, he was working a lot. He was a single father. I remember times he had 4 jobs at one time, barely ever home, just to take care of us, build us some kind of nice life, you know what I mean? And he did a great job, man. My dad was an amazing single father. And I'll always love him for that, man. But, my dad, he listened to a lot of, like, old rock, like 70s and 80s, a little bit of early 90s, Black Sabbath, ZZ Top was a big one, Limp Bizkit, Nirvana, you know what I'm saying? I grew up listening to all kinds of stuff with him. My dad also was a really big blues and jazz guy, B.B. King and things like that, you know what I mean? And then on the other hand, I grew up a lot with my grandparents when my dad was working. Through my grandparents, so one of my grandfathers was 100% Czechoslovakian. And we used to love, when we were little kids, one of my favorite things was we'd be driving somewhere with my grandpa, and my grandpa would just be blaring polka music, man. And dude, I'm telling you right now, my grandfather, he passed away not too long ago, and that polka music, man, it's one of the strongest memories I have of him, dude. Me and my brothers and sisters be sitting in the back seat of his car and just dying laughing on the way to church, listening to him do polka or listen to his polka music, and he would always make these funny sounds, all kinds of crazy stuff. But I got that from him, plus a lot of old country, and then my mom liked country. I don't share a lot with my mom, we don't have a good relationship, but the country music was something I definitely think I picked up from her. And then on the other side of my family, my dad's parents, my grandfather was huge Johnny Cash, and his brothers and my cousins and stuff, they were, all a bunch of hicks. listened to a lot of Waylon Jennings and stuff like that. And then obviously in my generation started getting into like Tim McGraw and stuff like that, and all the way up into when I really started listening to country, which was like Brantley Gilbert, Jason Aldean, Thomas Rhett, all that kind of stuff. I don't care what any of you say. Morgan Wallen and Sam Hunt are two of my favorites today. I love it. I'm a romantic at heart, man. I love that music. And then, just where I grew up in my life, because I spent a lot of time in the country with my family, and then me and my dad spent a lot of time living in the city too, and in the urban environment. I've always felt like I'm a little bit blessed to have kind of lived both sides and see both things. And there's a lot of bad things that came out of the city, like me being really stupid when I was younger and put myself in a lot of dangerous situations with a lot of people I shouldn't have. There's a lot of good too, man. I really got into rap music, and I actually started to rap. And to be honest, I don't think that I'm a bad rapper. I think that when I was younger, my music didn't take off because I was trying to do generic rap music. I wasn't talking about the stuff that, I should have been talking about. I wasn't presenting my story. And that kind of brings me to the subject now when somebody asks me, what's your favorite type of music? Well, a lot of people don't know. I'm still rapping, but I've found myself and found the place that I belong, which I believe is more of the country rap genre, right? I'll have some music coming out hopefully at the end of next year, and putting North Carolina and Nebraska on the map. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. But on that note, of course, the first country rap artist I ever got really big into, I'd say Bubba Sparks, right? He kind of, to me, started that movement. And it was just something where listening to him was really just kind of different in the beginning. It was like you're listening to somebody who relates to you coming from the country and all that, and the music a little bit silly and all that, but it vibed, man. And Bubba Sparks made an impact, dude. I mean, he was doing some cool things with it, man. And then actually later down the road, as I started to listen to more of his music, I started to realize how deep he can actually be and how serious he is. And even nowadays, I still listen to a lot of his music. I really love a lot of what he did. But then I would definitely say that my love for country rap definitely came in a big way when I started listening to Ryan Upchurch, man. Upchurch was the first kid that I heard rapping that it was like, this kid was like me, not the exact same situations, grew up in different places, but the things he was talking about I could relate to, and he was unapologetic. And Upchurch's music was not meant to be funny or, some kind of joke on the rap game. Upchurch is serious in his music. He's talking about things that really matter to a group of people that have never had a voice in that genre. That's what blew him up. That's what made him so big. And Upchurch is deep too, man. And he does more than rap. Like, I think two of my favorite songs by Upchurch is probably Parachute and Desperado, which I think he has amazing rap verses on, but I also think that it shows a very real side of him. And they're songs that I feel, man. When I listen to it, I can really relate to it. Obviously, after Upchurch, I started to follow Adam Calhoun. I got real big into Adam Calhoun. And Adam Calhoun, to me, was kind of that country boy from the inner city. I mean, a lot of people don't know he's from Chicago, but he's very, he's a lot more like Upchurch, and it kind of normalized coming from that environment and being one of us, And then, of course, there's the grandson of the great Waylon Jennings, Struggle Jennings, who is just incredible. I love Struggle. Demon Jones, Dusty Lee. I really like
whew, the Lacs were amazing. Bottleneck. I actually got really upset because the Lacs came to the town I live in to do a show, and I wanted to go so bad, and I ended up having drill. I had to leave with the Army the night that they showed up, and I wasn't able to go, and that really sucked, man. I was even working in a military store at the time, and apparently Dusty Lee actually came in and bought a t-shirt, man. And I just heard stories about it forever, man. I was so upset I didn't get to be there and say hi to him, man. But Dusty Lee, if you see this video, man, shout out for sure, dude. I love your music, dude. New Breed and Jussie Howard are ones that I think a lot of people don't know about. They're amazing. I love Hard Target. Savannah Dexter, I think, is really good, which I know there's a controversy between Savannah Dexter, Bravo Gator, and Upchurch. I get that. You know, I'm not as big of a fan of Bravo, man. I'm not gonna lie. And it's just personality-wise and musically-wise, I just don't think he's everything some of these other artists are, man. But I'm not a fan of like Hozier or Big Schmo. You know, I'm not a fan of them. I will say somebody that I think was a kind of a hip hop style artist that a lot of people don't talk about and a lot of people forget about is Haystack, man. And I loved Haystack. Haystack was great, dude. But the reason that I love this kind of music, and this is kind of what I'm getting into, the reason it speaks to me, and I feel like I even found my own place in it, is because I think a lot of people misunderstand country rap. A lot of people think that it's kind of designed to go against what hip hop stands for, and that, you know, it's racist and all this and that. I mean, you hear those subjects all the time. I mean, there was always the debate about Upchurch that this is a kid who reps a rebel flag, and, you know, he's speaking backwoods outlaw shit in a genre of music that people felt like belonged to the African American cultures of the inner city. Well, I don't think that's true, man. To me, rap music has always been about an outlaw lifestyle. I mean, a lot of your rappers portray this gangster lifestyle and coming from the streets and surviving in brutality. It's the same thing a lot of these country rappers do, but they're talking about it from our side. They're talking about it from a situation that nobody has seen before that comes from our side. And personally, I don't think that rap music belongs to one culture. I don't think music in general belongs to one culture. I think that it's for everybody. And I think it just took a long time for those doors to get broke down and, you know, people to start accepting artists like us. But the stories are the same thing, man. I mean, you're talking about, you know, a group of people who a lot of times lived outside the law, lived an outlaw lifestyle, came from hard times and struggles, but, you know, a different type of hard time and struggles. I also think that a lot of rap music has turned into kind of fruity pop bullshit, and a lot of it's kind of showcasing this woke culture that I don't like. And so a lot of like inner city rap music doesn't jive with me. You know what I'm saying? I don't like it because it's doing to me the opposite of what rap was supposed to speak to when it was created, you know. I grew up on the Ice Cubes and the B.I.G.s and the Tupacs and Eazy-E and, you know, Wu-Tang Clan, Public Enemy, those kind of things, when these artists were actually speaking about something that mattered. I would say probably one of the last recent artists that I actually really like and have a lot of respect for is Tech-N9ne and all the artists on Strange Music. I really love their stuff because I think they're very truthful. You know, I used to, of course, like most white boys that have an interest in hip hop, one of the first people I listened to was Eminem, and I used to really like Eminem. I really don't anymore, man. I think Eminem has changed a lot from the persona of who he used to be, from the Slim Shady and all this stuff. I think Eminem's kind of gone woke, man. And I mean, I don't care how people are gonna get mad at me for saying that, dude. But that's my opinion. And he's just changed, man. The Eminem this new generation is seeing and hearing is not who we grew up with, you know. And so I'm not a fan of him anymore. Um, you know, I really can't stand a lot of the new artists, man. Like NBA YoungBoy and a lot of these, like, what do they call them? Like, man, I can't even think of the word, but the new style of rap artists that are out there. I just don't like them, man. I think it's a lot of violence and short life expectancy and making millions of dollars, but still wanting to live like you're on the street. And I just think that's kind of stupid, man. See, when I grew up, it's like in my house when they talked about musicians, like, oh, Frank Sinatra, that's another one that my family really loved. And my grandma loved Elvis, man. My grandma was huge into Elvis. Like, I grew up listening to all this stuff. And, one of the things that I thought made Elvis legendary and Johnny Cash and Jerry Lee Lewis and, a lot of these people was that they were unashamed of who they were. They came right out and told you, man. They were drug addicts, man. They were outlaws. They were people, that lived on the bottom, man. And the culture they spoke about was something they lived. That's why so many people related to them. That's why they became such a big factor in music. I think when you're looking at country rap music, and I don't think it's just a white thing, I think a lot of people from Southern culture or country culture in general could relate, man. Ryan Upchurch, I've heard the comparison numerous times. Ryan Upchurch he's your modern Elvis. Struggle, Waylon Jennings, it's his grandson. I'd say Adam Calhoun is very much like your Johnny Cash. I think another amazing one nowadays is Broadnax. I think Broadnax is so underrated, it's not even funny. And I love having a group of people that do a style of music I love that I can relate to. And to be honest, man, country rap has exploded recently. It's become a huge thing. Even a lot of generic country stars are starting to almost use like a rap style in their songs. Jason Aldean's done it. Brantley Gilbert's done it. Shit, Brantley Gilbert's got projects like completely with Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll's another good one. There's so many of them, man. Morgan Wallen, dude. He's got a lot of rap style behind him. Sam Hunt, But I think it's becoming socially acceptable and country rap starting to kick down a door. But I also think that it's a lot of the things going on in the world. People don't want to hear this woke culture anymore, man. They don't want to hear this bullshit or this industry garbage. I think that artists like this that are coming out and being honest and truthful are speaking more to the people. And even though the industry hates them and tries to shut them down, the people are always going to support them and hold them up because we've been waiting for this. We've been waiting for someone to speak our side and our story. I think another amazing rap artist, actually I'll say two of them, and both of them have done a lot of projects with country rap artists, but I don't know that I wouldn't call either one a country rap artist, but I think they're kind of on the same page as Tom McDonald and Crucifix. They're really incredible artists too, who speak a lot of truth. Crucifix is actually a Christian rapper. That's something I never thought I'd be saying, is I listen to Christian rap. Shit. But, you know, the music is amazing. The stories are there and the relation is there. And that's what makes it so special. You know, sometimes I'm a veteran, dude. And the political side of things in this world is shifted really heavy. And I have my feelings on it, man. There's some political rappers I listen to that I really enjoy, and you know, a lot of people have a lot of hatred for, but I understand what they're saying, and I feel it. Burden is one of them. I love Burden. Playboy the Beast, Killdozer, you know, Forgiato Blow. These guys are just, they're starting to say something that people have been afraid to say forever, and it's working. And I've also noticed that nobody's coming after them. You know, that's a huge thing in the culture of rap music, and I think it's part of what killed my love of rap music partially, is that I'm sick of all these rappers, man, that are getting killed over things they say. Well, this set of rappers, these type of rappers, that doesn't happen. And a lot of them stand together, which I think shows kind of a power and a strength in the message that they're sending, you know. On a note of, you know, country rap artists that I really liked, but, you know, disappointed me, just to say this, I loved Yellow Wolf when he came out. And Yellow Wolf was something very different, you know. In a lot of ways, I felt like he was almost the turning point for country rap being taken seriously. And make no mistake, dude, Yellow Wolf is a country rapper. He's from Alabama. He's from the woods. You know, there's a lot of inner city stuff about where he grew up, but he's very much baptized in almost a country rap. That's why his music was such a different taste when it came out. You know, you either loved him or you hated him, but I feel like a lot of the people that related to him came from the countryside, and that struggled. I do think that recently Yellow Wolf has done a lot of things that are questionable. I think he's become very industry. I think that he has kind of changed his message to a degree, and I still have a lot of respect for him. I love what he did. I mean, sometimes if I'm in the mood, man, I'll pop on a Yellow Wolf song. I love it. I don't like that he teamed up with Caskey. I think Caskey's a piece of shit. I really do. You know, and that's probably one of the biggest strains I had on listening to his music, is when the whole beef with Caskey and Adam Calhoun and Burden and all that shit came out, because it's like Yellow Wolf was backing this guy that to me was somebody the complete opposite of what Yellow Wolf represented in the beginning, you know. Part of the reason I love people like Adam and Upchurch is they've never been apologetic. They've never changed who they are through the fame and the money. But yeah, man, anyway, you know, it was a question somebody asked me, and I really liked it, because music is probably one of my favorite things in the world, man. And so that's the type of music that I love. Those are the reasons why I do the music. You know, I started this YouTube channel just kind of talking and putting out my opinions. It's something I've never really said publicly to people I don't know, is that I actually do this style of music. But hey, I am a country rapper, and, you know, here before long, there'll start being some music coming out for me. So hopefully, you know, if you guys watch me and you like my videos, you'll start looking for the music too, man. You know? But anyway, that's it, man. That's Patriot's public opinion on music. So hope y'all have a good night, man. I'll see you on the next one.